Yeah, it is amazing. And the interesting thing about what we're doing, it is direct memory, mental, emotional shifts. You know, I saw something the other day that the new technologies of the world in the year, 2020, 25, 2030, and one of them is memory changing. Memory changing. And of course, science is looking at it, how to do it chemically, like inject a drug in the right place of your mental cortex somewhere, We can do it without that, We're memory changers. We're neuroplasticians. And of course, if you really want to improve your life, learn how to drive your own brain. Learn how to change your own brain. Learn how to be in control of your own personal life. And changing memories are really pretty simple if you know how it works. And so today we're going to do some memory changing. And some of you have been doing memory changing, haven't you? You've been tapping on yourself and your memories have shifted. You feel more relaxed and calmer and more in control. This is definitely the system you need to learn. And I venture to say that from the beginning of mankind, they've been looking for some way to heal themselves, to find themselves, to find some spiritual something to fix me. They climb to the mountain and meditate for years. And of course, they still stuck with their own internal processing. So what we can do it faster. And basically, it's built on science and how the mind actually does work. The simple concept that neurons who fire together wire together, or better yet, we say neurons. We'll say this: when you have a feeling and something else, and you fire the feeling and that together, they wire together. Which means, when you have a food, like some people hate certain foods, and the reason is there's an emotional dynamics there. And when they think about foods, it's like when I went to this restaurant, and it was actually it was my favorite restaurant in Greece. You go there, it's all the fresh food you can eat, and all the wine you can drink. It's 13 euros, which is probably around 15, 16 bucks for you. All you can eat. And I take all the, that's where we're going to go in level 1. We're going to have our meal. We're going to have one on Tuesday. So we go there, and we'll all eat, and we'll have fun, and there's too much food. It's fresh fish, the best squid you could ever eat. I mean, it's fresh fish, fresh cut fries, and it was just great. Well, one day by myself, I decided to go to that restaurant. During the day, I go in, there's a lot of people, there's one table empty, and I sit there. And as I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for service, and one of the guys says you can't sit there. Says, you can have that seat when those two people leave. And I said, well, there's nobody here. There's no reserved. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm really pissed. I said, I'm hungry. I want to eat. You need to serve me. In America, service is a lot different, And of course, if you're in Ireland and you want to order something, you're going to sit there a long time until you go up to the counter. And you go up to the counter, they go, what do you want? And then you order it, and when it's time to eat, say, your food's up here. In America, it's totally different. I mean, they serve you, As a matter of fact, the waiters get paid $2 an hour because Americans believe in good service. And we believe that you should appreciate those who give you good service. But see, in those other countries, they don't care about service. So here it is. I'm here, and I'm getting really pissed. So I get off and walk away. Now, by the way, here it is, my favorite good feelings, right? Now I go to the same restaurant, and now I have new feelings coming in to the memory associated with that restaurant. Now, guess what I have? A negative association to it. And it's just by merely how the brain actually works. It fires things together, and it wires them together. So they say neurons who fire together, wire together. So what we're saying is a chocolate and positive experiences. Chocolate and love. Chocolate and candy and sweets. All of a sudden you think love is in chocolate. And so that's really what we're doing, is we're rewiring your brain, showing you how to rewire your brain. Since it is your brain, I think you have the right to change it. Isn't that right? So that's what we're going to do this today.
I just wanted to know, you did some work on me, which was great, and then I also had a private session with Jacqueline last time I was here, and as I said, I've been tapping crazily myself, but I have had an outcome that I didn't expect because I didn't work on it.
Right.
Is that something that just happens?
It's normal.
Right, yeah, because it's normal. So I had a physical pain. I had the pain when I was here, but I had a heat pack on my back, a bag with all my props of how I deal with my back pain when I was here for the first 4 days. And I wore that heat pack for the first day and the second day and had my backup kit because I always end up in a bad way. Usually would have booked myself into a physio before I did anything like this.
Right.
And by day 3, I didn't need the heat pack. I didn't work on the pain at all.
Right.
I was oblivious to it. Day 4, I didn't bring the bag of props either. I didn't have the pain anymore. And I have not had that pain since I did that work, which was totally unrelated. So
Seemingly,
yes, yeah. Obviously, it was. Yeah.
And how long has it been?
16 was my first incident with this pain.
2016.
No. When I was 16 years old.
16 years old.
So nearly. I'm 55 next month. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So 16 to 55, that's a few years.
That's a lot of that's a lot of pain and lots of treatments, lots of even work cover. Like even though I said I can't have work cover because I worked out I don't deserve it. That's what's really behind it.
Right.
But I don't want work cover because I got a bad back and it happened at work. I just have a bad back. That's my problem. And they went, no, it happened at work. Blah blah blah. But so this pain has gone totally.
And how long has it been gone? Since the seminar?
Only since I came here and got tapped on and started, tapping on myself. And
was that a month ago?
4 weeks
ago.
The 22nd of March. Yeah, I went.
In the seminar.
Yeah, I know. When in the seminar?
It
I
went
just
in
wonder
the
how long
seminar.
it's been.
Okay, that long.
And so you said it had been 6/16, and we addressed some memories about your self-value, about emotional pain, about how you felt about yourself, and the pain went away.
Yeah.
Very good. Good job. Yeah, it is amazing. So here's the deal, because I do heal your body, and the reason why our pains are linked to emotions is because it's like, for example, this is so common. I see it everywhere. Say, for example, you fell and you hurt yourself, hit your bum, or you're working at work and you fall and you hurt yourself or some stuff. And what happens is when you physically fall, at the time, the emotional dynamics of your life will actually go into that pain. It'll go into that part of your body that you fell. And so unconsciously, here it is, we talk about, just a second ago, we talked about chocolate, and then someone gives it to you and you feel love, and all of a sudden chocolate and love are together. So here it is, the lady Hannah, for example, she was, I don't know how old she was, probably 16, 17 years old, and she slipped and fell, and she hurt her bum, and for 40 years she had this back pain. And she's like what Janelle said, she's been to therapy after therapy after therapy, and it's still there. And so in the seminar, which I was doing just a typical seminar, well, if it's typical, but we're talking about pain and physical, and she said, she came up on break. She goes, well, I've had this back pain for 40 years. I've tried everything. Nothing's worked. And I said, well, how'd you hurt your back? She said, well, I slipped and fell. I said, what else was going on in your life during that time of your life? She goes, no one's ever asked me that. I said, what is it? She says, my father died. So here it is. Just think about it. She's grieving. She's feeling very sad. And while she's feeling sad, she falls and hits herself, and the grief and that back pain links together. Now they live together, act together, perform together. And one of the questions I asked in the seminar, if this pain were a person, who would it be? Guess who she said it was? My dad. Not consciously knowing the unconscious resources. So we go and we address the environment, we address the emotional issues, all of a sudden the pain that's been there for 40 years is gone. This is how the unconscious works. This is how pains work. There's a lot of research showing, they had, people with knee pain. And of course, if you got bone to bone, there's a reason for knee pain. All right. The interesting thing is there's a good percentage of people who have bone to bone, no knee pain. And they show research, x-rays showing that they got plenty of cartilage, but there's knee pain. So what does it mean? It's the unconscious mind storing something there. You know, I have Sue LaRue, for example. She had 19 orthopedic surgeries. She walks with a walker. She has severe pain in her shoulder, bursitis. She came to a free seminar. Now, it's an act of Congress for her. I mean, it's a major work. She's laying in bed. She's got pain in her shoulder. Now, she's taking 10 to 15 pills a day to manage her pain. So she's laying in bed. She goes, I got to get up, and I forgot to take my pain medicine. So she decided, well, I'll just do what Robert did. Now, she didn't know anything. All she knew is what I did. She practiced it, and she got rid of a pain that she's had for 40 years. 10 years later, she goes to the doctor. And the doctor has one of those little ultrasound things. He's looking at her shoulder. He goes, well, how much medication are you taking to deal with this pain? She goes, I don't have any pain. He goes, I don't know how you cannot have pain. It's bone to bone. She says, well, I use tapping. So here's the power of the mind. The mind has the ability to move emotions around, to put pain where there is no mechanical reason for pain, and also has the ability to have no pain when it could be pain. So again, our mind is simple. Reason why it worked is because we're addressing the cause, and that is unconscious resources, which by the unconscious creates beliefs. Beliefs are built with two pieces. Sensations in the body, pain, physical sensations, and memories, resources, consciously or unconsciously. So it does work. And that is, unfortunately, a horrible side effect.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Is that like a placebo effect?
Well, let me explain the
when you use
placebo
that?
effect. Let me explain. Most people, when they say placebo, they think fake. All right? That's what they think. And the reason why we think that is because we have a researcher up here. I'm a research scientist. I'm a research scientist, and I'm doing some research on my new drug. And I've just ate a horrible lemon. I have indigestion, and I'm bloated, and I go, this freaking placebo effect is ruining our good research. All right, now why is he saying that? First of all, he's wanting to prove that his medication that they created is actually effective. Well, the problem is that there's something else going on, and there's a lot of research proving that the placebo is outperforming, actually, and has outperformed, such as the drug called, what's that one they use for depression? Zoloft. But, of course, those people who are promoting Zoloft, they don't show that the placebo actually performed just as well as the Zoloft did, because they're not selling placebo. Now, the question is, what is placebo? Research has shown that the mind can heal itself in spite of a fake drug or fake operation. So what's happening is people are taking the drug and they're doing something in their mind, or the fake drug, getting a sugar pill, taking a sugar pill, and it heals them. Is it the sugar pill that does it? And the answer is no. It's what they're doing in their head. So placebo means the mind's great ability to heal itself in spite of the fake drug or operation. So the brain, oh, that's on your test, by the way. We'll go deeper into that in level 1, but the brain has this ability to heal itself. Now, here's what they call the nocebo effect. The nocebo effect means the correct drug, correct operation still doesn't work. Now, by the way, that's what you had. It still didn't work. All these operations, all the drugs still didn't work. And the reason is because the mind has something else going on. It's operating in the background. There was a lady who's a psychiatric nurse. She was in Oklahoma. She comes to see me. And of course, we're dealing with some of her emotional issues. And she said when I was diagnosed ADD or ADHD, which, by the way, these are not disorders. These are internal processing of information. And she said, Robert, I cannot learn at school. It was impossible. And the reason is because I was so afraid of what's going to happen when I get home again, because she's being abused. And so she had to be in control of her life. And she was trying to be in control even while in the classroom so that nothing bad will happen. So here it is, control, control, control. So they go to the dentist. She said, I go to the dentist, and they'll put 20 shots in my mouth, and I can still feel it. All right? Now, that's the nocebo. The nocebo says, listen, my belief says you will not have control over me, no matter how many shots you give me. because there's a belief system inside of the cell. So the nocebo effect is the mind's great ability to not heal or not change, no matter how good the drug or operation is, because it goes back to the power of the unconscious mind. So when you hear people say, "No, is it placebo?" they're ignorant and they think it's fake. If you understand what placebo is, it's the power of the mind.
That's how I thought of it.
Yeah, but most people don't. Because, again, we got researchers who don't like the placebo because it outperforms, in some cases, their own drug. And it doesn't make sense. So then they created another one called Nocebo. It's a secret.
Okay, just to back up what you're saying, there's an orthopedic surgeon that passed away last year called John Sarno, an American, who wrote the book Mind-Body Connection. He actually stopped operating because his patients were coming back after very successful surgeries and still in pain. So he realized that there was a mind-body connection. And so he started conducting group therapy, therapeutic groups, and getting to the root cause, and the pain would disappear.
Yeah, we know that, we see that, but it's very interesting, isn't it?